25th anniversary party we're having here in the Lawrence Common on September the 9th, 1978. And we are building up here to be able to hear and view the platters. It's going to be a great performance, I know. Thank our company, Martin's Men's Store, these companies, all types of insurance, and also Ford Continental Cablevision for allowing us to bring you all the festivities on a beautiful September day, September the 9th, 1978. What I'd like to do now is, my goodness, everything is blowing away, except me. Tom Connors, could you come over here a second, please? I'd like to talk to Tom Connors, who is the president of the Hibernians here in the city of Lawrence. Good afternoon, Tom.
Hi, Bruce. How are you? I think you just lost your truck back here.
You weren't here earlier, but we had a little set designed to my right, and I was standing near it, and it collapsed.
You lost the whole thing there, too.
You know,
Bill says that he tried to build it up higher, and it still went farther, so I guess we're in kind of windy weather down here.
How long have you been the president of the Hibernians now?
Oh, just about a year now, Bruce. And it's a tremendous organization. The people are great, and I'm sure that you realize what not only the organization does every St. Patrick's Day with the parade, but through the entire year. And we've got our booth over back here, and anyone that wants to come down, get down and see some Irish gifts that we have for you.
Any food?
No, plenty of food. We'll have Irish bread and some little goodies for other people.
Very good. That's Tom Connors, who is the president of the Hibernians, and they have a booth here, as do a lot of the other groups. Come on down. You got a lot of time to come on down here, and we want to welcome everybody. We were in the crowd there a few minutes ago and noticed a lot of people from out of the area. Of course, a lot of them who were born here and have moved to other parts of the country, and now back for the celebration. I think right now what we're going to do, though, is we're going to get ready to hear from the band. You know, when they said 1, 2, 3, they have the MPs over here, and they were doing it, and I thought it was the band getting ready to play. Sorry about that, guys. I really didn't mean that. So, 1, 2, 3. What'd you say? Oh yes. Should I go in the crowd again, Scott? What do you think? Should we go in the crowd again? I think we should go in the crowd again over here. 3, 4, 4. Maybe we'll go into the crowd here again. That's not long enough, is it? How you doing, sir? Oh, you walked away from it. Oh my goodness. Hi, how you doing, pal? Nice to see you.
Happy 125th.
Okay. Have you been here very long?
No, I just got here. I heard that Platters were going to be here. I got almost all their albums.
You have?
From the good old 50s.
Yeah, I interviewed one of the gals, Regina. She's very, very nice. And they're a great group, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I'm a little older than you are, so I remember them when.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice seeing you. See you again. Hi. This guy's been helping out, you know.
Yeah, I have.
Haven't you?
Yeah.
Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, what about the bubblegum contest, Phil? Well, did we have... Wait, he won the pie eating,
and we had a bubblegum contest also.
Well, did we have the winners on?
Yes, we did, as a matter of fact, and I think that we had a great deal of enthusiasm with both the contests.
Where was I when the bubblegum blew? I mean, I don't think I was here, was I?
No, but I think there were so many bubblegum eaters, you were probably afraid of the high wind that you might get caught in the bubblegum.
Everything's going great so far, Phil, huh?
Oh, gee, very, very impressive. The people are really turning out to enjoy these festivities, and I think people have worked very hard in keeping these things together and going.
All right, just a few more minutes and we'll hear from the Platters. We'll all enjoy ourselves, right?
I'm sure we will. Everybody's talking about it, and there's quite a big crowd has gathered now when they heard the Platters were coming down.
I noticed a lot of people took their own chairs, too.
Yeah, they're taking chairs from all over and bringing them in the cars and taking them from all over the place.
It's almost like a parade. A great celebration here, the 125th anniversary of the City of Lawrence, and you can be part of it, of course. Come on down, and we'd like to talk to you. You mentioned earlier about the Army and how the Army has helped out, Dave. I noticed we have some MPs over there, huh?
Well, of course, you know, right now what we're doing is getting set for the big afternoon show. The governor is on his way up, who has a proclamation for the city. Herb Reed and the Platters are out in their dressing rooms getting set up. So what the MPs are really doing is just kind of guiding the way so that everybody can walk rather clear.
Very good. Are we going to have
By the way, immediately following the governor's speech up on stage, he'll be coming over to visit you, and so we can do a little talking then.
Very good. That's very interesting. Governor Dukakis will be here very shortly, and we'll be here if we're not blown away, but have no fear. A little wind never hurt anybody, right? Right, Scott? Never hurt anybody. Okay, guys, just pan the crowd a little bit, and just another reminder that some of the crowd that you're viewing right now is ready to hear the Platters. And later on today, of course, the Shaw Brothers, who also do a great job as far as entertainment is concerned. You know, we haven't talked to much of the crew here, but right now I'd like to say hello. Joe, come on over here for a second. Joe Demers, who's been with us since, what, about 5 o'clock this morning?
Right.
And Joe has been handling our audio here. And Joe, you guys, you know, you work like, what do they say, hand in glove?
Well, I guess you could say that.
You know, this must be, you're originally from Lawrence, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it must be a nice feeling that you're participating in the anniversary of the 125th.
Well, it's very interesting. We have a lot of fun doing it, and happy to see there's a large crowd here, and it looks like it's going over very well.
I'm sure. You know, I have fond memories of Lawrence because, as a matter of fact, tomorrow, the 10th of September, I married a Lawrence girl 17 years ago. And Lawrence has always been like my second home because I managed the radio station, WCCM, here for about 13 years. And a lot of people always said, you know, where are you from? And I'd always say, well, I live in Lynn, but really my home was in Lawrence. And it's a very unique community. It really is. People do things the right way here.
Oh, we try very hard.
Okay, Joe, say happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday.
All right, Joe said happy birthday. There you go. What are they doing up there anyway?
Testing the microphones right now.
Is that what that is?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, 1, 2, 2. I didn't know. I thought they were going to start singing. What's your name?
Roger Morissette,
And where are you from, Roger?
Lawrence, Mass.
Okay, it must be a nice day for you. Although you're working, are you?
Always working.
Let's see, you are a lieutenant?
Lieutenant Auxiliary Police.
How long you been a lieutenant?
Well, I just became lieutenant a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh. And you guys help out at functions like this, right?
All the time. We're always around when you need it.
Say happy birthday, Lawrence.
Happy birthday, Lawrence.
That's it, wave. There's the camera right on you over there. So many different people here helping out. And Scott came all the way from Brockton, Massachusetts. Scott Davison, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Now, you know, you've been helping the last couple of days getting things ready here with a 4-hour broadcast today. And what's your impression? You know, you're kind of like an outsider. You're visiting the city of Lawrence. What's some of your observations?
A lot of people turned out more than I expected. And, gee, I wish Brockton could do something like this, but we're a little bit larger than Lawrence.
Yeah, how old is Brockton anyway?
I really have no idea.
I'm ashamed of you.
I am. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, really, I'm just kidding you. You know that. Hey, it's great having you on the crew.
Great being here. Thank you.
All he's done is sit around, of course, but it's all right. Thank you, Scott. And there's a couple of other guys we want to talk to maybe a little bit later on. Here's a fella from Methuen. Come on over here, Bob. Here's another guy that's been helping us out. He's from Methuen. And, Bob, let's see, you're number 80, huh?
It's the year I graduate.
Oh, that's right, because now you're a junior.
Yeah, I'm at Thorn High.
All right, and your name?
Bob Sangros.
And Bob is nice enough to come down and help us out. You hope to, in the future, get into media work, right?
Perhaps, yeah.
Be more definite. Say yes.
All right.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Have you enjoyed the day so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting.
And now we're all awaiting, of course, some of the officials and the governor and the Platters. That's one of the biggest things that's going to happen today, right?
I suppose so.
Thank you for your help, Bob. Really appreciate it. This is a gentleman from Methuen who's up here visiting. Arlington Trust Company, NASA Ford, McCartney's Men's Store, and the McCarthy Companies, and Continental Cablevision, all making this possible for you to view today on CTV3. Here's a gentleman, the co-chairman, I believe. I hope I'm right. You're one of the co-chairmen, right? Rick, turn right around over here. Rick D'Agostino from Lawrence. How you doing?
Very good, Bruce. How are you?
And I'll tell you, you guys have done a heck of a job.
Well, we thank you, Bruce. We worked awfully hard on it, and we've had a lot of people giving us a lot of help on it, and the list is so long it'd be impossible to mention them all, but there's been a lot of people working very hard, and we'd like to thank cable for coming down here and helping us to give this the coverage that it truly deserves.
We appreciate your comments. What are some of your impressions? You were born in Lawrence, right?
Right, right.
You're not that old, but I'm sure you've seen a few changes over the last few years.
Certainly. What I've seen, I feel, is that the city has sort of went downhill for a while and needed a revitalization. It still does. It still has a long way to go, and we need a turnabout. And I think it's something like this can generate that type of an attitude. We've heard so many people talk about the Common and that the land, there's so much land and yet it goes to waste. It's an ideal spot for something like this, and I hope that we see this year after year here.
No question about it, and you all should be congratulated on what a fine job that you've done.
Well, thank you very much, Bruce, and again, thank you.
Thank you, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Lawrence. Here's one of the co-chairmen for the 125th anniversary party that we're having here, the birthday party, Rick D'Agostino. We're awaiting, and I think that maybe I've done enough talking for the time being. Why don't we just pan the crowd a little bit here? Just a reminder, you're watching CTV3, Lawrence and Methuen, Massachusetts. Interesting friend of mine is here. I've given her many compliments. Ann McCullough, who works for WCCM, and you're a student at Endicott Junior College.
Yes, I am, and we begin Monday.
That's right, and it's so nice to visit you because I know I've complimented you over the telephone many times. There was a series run on WCCM about the history of the city of Lawrence, and you had a big part in that, didn't you?
Just a little, I guess. It was a lot of planning and a lot of work. It was about a month that we took to, research, and the series itself ran for 3 weeks. It was on. It was in 15 parts on every morning, 3 times, and there were a lot of interesting things. I know I learned a lot about Lawrence, and we've heard other people say you should look into Lawrence, and and then there's the other people that say, oh, what is there about Lawrence? But there's a lot about Lawrence that we could really learn, and I urge anyone to look up Lawrence's history. I had fun doing it.
How did you do it? What did you go to the library? Did you talk to some of the old timers or what?
I did a lot of things. I relied a lot on some of the books that have been written. I looked into Immigrant City. I looked into the history of Lawrence by Morris Dorgan. I received some things from the Lawrence Historical Society, some tapes that have been done on interviews and lectures, and a lot of documents, and then put it all together.
Well, I tell you, you did a very, very nice job, Ann, and I see you have your tape recorded today. What you going to do?
Well, we're expecting the governor in just a few minutes, and we hope to get him over to our mobile van. CCM is broadcasting live, as you people are today, and we hope to get him on the air, and I hope to do a couple of interviews myself and see how the governor of Massachusetts feels about Lawrence's 125th anniversary.
Of course, Ann's face is very familiar on CTV3 because she's helped out on the March of Dimes Telorama for the last, 2 or 3 years?
Well, actually, I took an active involvement this past year and worked camera and did anything that was necessary for that matter. But, that was a fun thing. And I also worked the candidates' debates back last fall.
You're rather young, and I want to, again, compliment you and say what a fine job you've done, Ann, really.
Thank you very much, Bruce. You have embarrassed me more than once in public, to say the least.
All right, Ann, if that's the way you want to be, take off.
I'd just like to add one thing.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Lawrence.
Well, say it right there, will you?
Lawrence, happy birthday.
Okay, Ann McCullough from the WCCM news staff, and again, doing a lot of hard work on a series of articles that she wrote, she produced for WCCM on the history of Lawrence. We're still awaiting the governor and some of the other city officials that will be here. The Platters are here. They're going to be performing very, very shortly. So again, guys, let's pan the audience just a little bit. You're watching CTV3, Lawrence and Methuen, Massachusetts, the 125th birthday party. Why don't you come on down? You're watching on television, but it's the next best thing of being there, I know, but still, it's better to be here in person. The breeze has gone down. It's a beautiful day, and we're all having a ball. And here's John Bassett. Hello, John. Come on over, John. I want to talk to John Bassett over here. He's the manager at WCCM. I was complimenting Ann McCullough. What a fine job she did in that series for the history of Lawrence.
Yeah, she did. She did a terrific job. She and Bob Kimball put the whole thing together, and I think it was an excellent series. Excellent.
John Bassett, of course, the manager at WCCM, Kurt Gowdy Broadcasting, and also the past president of the Chamber of Commerce. And John, you've been a member of the Lawrence Society, the Lawrence. You've seen possibly a few changes over the last couple of years, have you?
And they're all changes for the better, Bruce, because I think the city is really on its way back. Anybody a few years ago felt that Lawrence had a lot of problems. We still have problems. You can't sweep them under the rug, but I think the thrust is all the way up now. And I think we're going to see some tremendous changes in the downtown area in the next 12 to 18 months.
I was talking to Eddie Coleman and Gary Pahegan a little earlier. They're all set up. Well, you're broadcasting now, huh?
We're right. We're a little ways back from where you people are set up. And incidentally, I want to say right here and now that I think Continental Cable is doing a fantastic job with their coverage of this whole weekend live. It's a great contribution.
It is, and again, we want to thank Arlington Trust. We want to thank McCartney's Men's Clothing. We want to thank McCarthy companies who deal with business and personal insurance, and also NASA Ford and Continental Cable for allowing us to, without their help, you know the story, John, without their help, of course, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Absolutely, and you're going to have a great show here momentarily. with
Yeah,
your
I had a chance to interview Regina. She's one of the members of the group, and she's fantastic.
They are all great performers, and I'm sure the people here are going to have a great show. You know what I'm looking forward to, beside the Platters, tomorrow, that New Eagle jazz band. They are fantastic.
Yes.
They really are.
John Bassett, thank you for stopping
Bruce,
by.
thank you. It's always good
pal.
to see you.
See you again. It's John Bassett, who is the manager of WCCM, and he's been a part of Lawrence for a few years. He's here. There are many, many people here. I think what we'll do now, gentlemen, is give it to Dave.
Does everybody hear me okay? All right. This is, after all, the 125th birthday of Lawrence, so I think it only fitting that maybe we all get together and wish the city of Lawrence just that. If I can hear on the count of three, a very happy birthday, Lawrence, okay? 1, 2, 3. No. That was okay for the left side, but I couldn't hear the right side, and there was nobody in the middle. Let's try it one more time, all right? 1, 2, 3. All right, now give yourself a big hand. Go ahead. Last night at about 5 o'clock, Mayor Lawrence Lefebvre kicked off the 125th birthday celebration by hosting a cocktail party in City Hall, and along with many state and city dignitaries from surrounding Greater Lawrence communities, what they did was set the tone for this entire weekend. A very happy, joyous, fun type weekend, which will continue right through till about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And actually, I guess we have to say the keynote for the entire weekend is pretty much the fact that Lawrence was a great city. Lawrence is a great city. And Lawrence is going to be a greater city in the next 125 years. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome, please, the Mayor of the City of Lawrence, Lawrence P. Lefebvre, and the Governor of the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Governor Michael Dukakis. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Dave Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce you to a man who has a real concern about our city of Lawrence, a man who knows our problems. I've sat down for hours on end explaining where we are at and where we want to go, and he's behind us. At this point, I think I'd like to introduce the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. He'll read a citation and give his greetings. Governor?
Thank you very much, Larry. It's great to see you all out here in this magnificent September afternoon, and I just want to say to the mayor and to all of you that I think you ought to feel very proud about this day and about this anniversary and about what we're going to be doing together to rebuild and revitalize this city. And I simply want to present to the mayor and through him to all of you this citation congratulating the city on the occasion of its 125th anniversary, and to tell you that I see some very, very good days and weeks and years ahead for this great city if we work together, and we're going to do that. Thank you all very, very much.
Now, before we bring out Herb Reed and the Platters, I'd like to ask for a rather giant Lawrence welcome for Clarence Tate and the beautiful people.
All right, let me hear everybody with a little hand clapping. The festivities are underway. We're gonna get down a little bit for you. Oh, yeah. How you feel out there? All right. We come out to party. Want to join us? I got to get myself together. Yeah. How you doing? I hope you're fine. Did your day take a few changes and mess up your mind? Well, I just called to say that I'm on my way, and I'll see you when I get there. I hope you're in a good mood. You know a man's home is his castle, and I'm coming home to groove, and I'll see you when I get there. I'll see you when I get there. And you'll be ready for good loving. You'll be ready for good loving. Oh, I work hard all day, and I'm coming home to be with the one I love. Yeah. Candlelight, cold wine, soft music on my radio. You've got everything you need from the store. 'Cause I'll be in
It's a very proud day, of course, in the city of Lawrence, Mayor Lefebvre. And how are your feelings right now?
You know, I have just a fine feeling as I walk throughout the crowds and I meet the citizens of Lawrence, and everybody turns to each other and says happy birthday, and it's a good feeling, the type of feeling that should exist in a beautiful city such as the city of Lawrence. And we're more than honored to have the governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to come today, to take a little time out of his busy schedule to come to us to read a proclamation in celebration of 125th birthday. And since the governor's here, I'd like to turn it over to the governor.
Sure. Governor Dukakis, come in here. I know you've already spoken to the crowd that's here, but some of your impressions today, being here in an old mill city that's 125 years old and seeing it being revitalized now.
Well, that's the exciting thing about being able to work with the mayor and with the people of this city and to be governor at a time when we're finally beginning to understand that in our cities we've got such great potential. We're doing great things in Lowell. There's no reason why cities like Lawrence and Haverhill and New Bedford and Fall River and Worcester and Springfield and all of the great cities of this state can't do the same. And I see in this festival here a real example of how the spirit of a people can begin to rebuild and revitalize itself, and that's really the beginning. If people can begin to feel optimistic and hopeful about their city, then a governor can come in and really help, and obviously we're doing that in other cities, and there's no reason why we can't do it here.
All right, one more happy birthday from the governor.
A very happy birthday to all of the good citizens of Lawrence, and may they have 125 more good ones.
Thank you, Governor. Okay. One more thing, Larry, I would like to say is I talked to Gene O'Neill, the coordinator of this, and also Rick D'Agostino and Veronica Dooley, and I tell you, they have to be commended for a fine job.
I absolutely agree. They've been here overnight, 6 o'clock in the morning. We didn't have power up to 5 minutes of 6 yesterday. It was either lights or sound. Which one do you want, Mayor? And that gets you a little bit upset. To Gene, to Veronica, to Rick D'Agostino, Joe Paralisi, and so many others. Kevin Clement, who put the staging together, ran from Manor La Mancha staging down here in the middle of the night to fix this up. I congratulate them, and I'd say to the people of Lawrence, without them, this wouldn't be possible.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Have a happy day, will you? Bye-bye. See you again. Okay, Governor Dukakis and Mayor Lefebvre here as we are celebrating the 125th birthday of the city of Lawrence. Let's go hear some music now.
You got everything you need from the store. 'Cause I'll be in for the evening, and I don't wanna come out no more. And I'll see you when I get there. I'll see you when I get there. And you'll be ready for good loving. You'll be ready for good loving. Oh, I'm working hard all day, and I'm coming home to be with the one I love. I'll see you when I get there. I'll see you when I get there, little girl. In the Lawrence Commons. Thank you. All right. Everybody dance. Love you to pieces, y'all. All right. Oh, yeah. Everybody dance.
There's a smile on your face, every time it fades. Sing and breathe. Lose your mind, make you happy again. Everybody dancing. Close your eyes, clap your hands. Don't need a phone, ain't got that swing. Bumps you up, yeah. Bumps you up, come on now. Everybody dance. Clap your hands, clap your hands. 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 Look here now. Just like Rogers in a stand, just like life without a care. Just like the clouds coming too soon. Everybody dancing, let your food have some fun. So come on, everybody, get on your feet, clap your hands, everybody scream. Everybody dance. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody dance. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody dance. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody dance. Clap your hands, clap your
Everybody dance. All right, yeah. Woo. Yeah. Monitors is dead. Woo, look at here. tomorrow. Hey, seems to me, girl, you know I done all that I can. No, I've been stuff and I'm bound up. Oh, that's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Yes, I am. That's why I'm easy. Yeah. Easy like Sunday morning. Why in the world would anybody put chains on me? I don't know, but I've paid my dues to make it. Yeah, everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. Yeah, I'm not happy when I try to fake it. Hey, that's why I'm easy like Sunday morning. And yes, I am. That's why I'm easy. Yeah, yeah. Easy like Sunday morning. I want to be home. So I've got to be free to know the things that are right. Wanna be free, free, yeah, that's why I'm easy. Yeah, easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm easy. Yeah, yeah. Easy like Sunday morning. Oh. I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah, easy, like Sunday morning. Oh, like Sunday morning. Oh, yeah. Just like Sunday morning. Gonna keep on loving you, girl. Till the 12th of never. Oh, I'm losing, 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 losing. Easy like Sunday morning. Thank you. Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Oh! All right. A little message in case you're headed for Atlantic City. I got one thing to tell you. They'll take every time you got. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in here. And when you're walking down the street and you ain't had enough to eat, you get the buzz right that way. They say the women treat you fine in Lawrence Park. And looking at them just couldn't mean but how you gonna make some time when all you got is one thing time, and one thing I won't even shine. It's you. Say that I won't last too long on Broadway. I catch a Greyhound bus for home, they all say. But they don't run, no, they are. Things here get hard, so I must stop. Thank you. All right, it's about that time right now. We're going to take like about a 5-minute break. And then we're going to bring on the stars of today, featuring Herb Reed of the Original Platters and his group out of sight and sound. You can dig on it. In case you're wondering, girls, we're the beautiful people. We're playing music for your listening and drinking and eating hot dog pleasure. Right on, baby. Always willing to help out. Let's hear it one time for the fellas in the band, the beautiful people. All right. Yeah. Your host and MC for the evening. My name is Clarence Tate. Let's hear it for me. Don't you just love me? All right. Start time in just a little while, so hang on to your seats. Be right back.
going to take a little break. Get set. Herb Reed and the Platters are standing by. They'll be with us momentarily. I want to take just a couple of moments to remind you about some of the other activities that are going on here as part of the 105th birthday celebration in the city of Lawrence. Number one, the celebration will continue right through until about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, it's good, huh? This afternoon at about 4:30 here on the central stage, what we're going to do is hold a disco dance contest, give a number of people that have already entered a chance to show what they can do. A disco dance contest which will be this afternoon at 4:30. And then a little bit later on, at about 6 o'clock, we're going to spend 2 hours giving you something that you've never seen on television before, a gong show that you wouldn't believe. If you think you've seen gong show acts on television, wait till you see the gong show acts on this stage. That's from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock tonight. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So we hope that you'll plan on staying. You know, if you're going to stay with us all afternoon and into the evening, I suggest that maybe you stop by our refreshment stands. The refreshment tent is directly to my right, to the right of the stage area. And over there, the Kiwanians are now preparing to serve us up a meal from now through to the early evening hours. And if you'd like to buy a hot dog or some cold drinks and soda, beer or wine, they can be purchased over at the food tent directly to my right. Now, tonight at 8 o'clock, starting at 8 o'clock and continuing until 11 o'clock, we'll be hearing from Rick and Ron, the Shaw Brothers. Shaw Brothers are RCA recording artists that have played throughout the area for quite a number of years, do very well and very often play very closely with John Denver. So they'll be here tonight. If you've never heard the Shaw Brothers, I suggest it's something well worth coming down for. If you've heard them before, then there's no need of explaining it to you. You know exactly what kind of a show you'll be seeing. That's from 8 until 11 o'clock tonight here on stage, the Shaw Brothers. Then tomorrow morning, all the activities will begin at 8 o'clock. At 8 a.m., the Lions will begin serving breakfast. All of the various booths and activities will begin at 9. And what's happening, actually, is that throughout the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common, there are booths set up to give you an idea of the ethnic background of Lawrence. Many of the various ethnic cultures have set up their booths to show you exactly what their part in the growth of Lawrence has been. I might also suggest that if you'd like, you visit the Lawrence Public Library. There's a book sale going on all day today. And throughout the afternoon, you'll be able to see what's happened in the past 125 years. There's a complete display there from the Merrimack Valley Textile Museum, story and history behind the 1912 strike. It's all in the Lawrence Library, which is located at the far end of the Lawrence Common, and that's on the corner of Lawrence and Haverhill Streets. So we might suggest... And then tomorrow afternoon...
It's time for a little station break here. We'll be back. We're getting ready to hear the Platters on stage. Dave is up there right now, ready to introduce them. So I'm going to remind you once again that you're watching Lawrence's 125th birthday celebration on Continental Cablevision, CTV3, Lawrence and Methuen. And today's activities being brought to you in part by the McCarthy Companies, Arlington Trust Company, McCartney's Men's Store, and NASA Ford. Don't go away. We'll be right back.